It's time for Real Estate 101 with the Karey Brown team from Realty Executives Preferred Advisors.
Good Saturday morning to you. This is Karey Brown, broker owner of Realty Executives Preferred Advisors, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. I'm really excited. I have a guest here today. Her name is Anita Filardo. Good morning, Anita.
Good morning.
So Anita is a stager, which everybody always asks tons of questions about. Should I take my personal pictures down? What else should I take out? So we're going to answer those questions today. And then also, I understand she is one heck of a designer as far as putting houses together. So she's in the Kansas City market. She doesn't really come to Topeka, but she's going to give us a lot of great tips. So we'll just get with it. So
Thank you, Karey.
Sure, absolutely. So tell me, you go into a house, they have personal pictures up. I wouldn't say overboard because you don't see too many of them that are just like the full wall. But what would be the first thing you would say as far as the consultation to kind of get everything a little bit more neutral for a buyer?
Okay, awesome. That's a great question. So buyers and sellers are both looking to personalize their own home. They're looking at what makes their home theirs, which is typically their personal photos of their families and loved ones. So when I go into a home, I'm educating the seller on what a potential buyer is looking for. And a lot of times, the seller's personal photos can be a distraction. It's just human nature to go in and want to look at the walls and look at the photos and ooh and ah over grandchildren or wedding pictures and babies and whatnot. So those can be distractions. We want the potential buyer to see the potential of the home with their belongings and their pictures and their loved ones. So those are distractions. So usually just educating the seller on why it's important to depersonalize the home and remove those personal photos. It also, I typically will make the comment about it could be for privacy as well, security reasons. A lot of times if children live in the home, you may not want those in the multiple listing system and other means of marketing homes with different sites out there as well. So they typically understand, and that is hard for them to depersonalize their home, but it also gives them the advantage of this is the goal. The end goal in mind is to get the home sold. So by packing up and getting a head start, you're just that much closer to moving on to the next phase in your life.
Absolutely. I always tell them, if you think about it, you've got to pack it anyway. So
that's right. We're just getting a head start.
Yeah. And plus, whenever you're doing that to get ready to sell your home, you have time to label the boxes correctly instead of like, oh, my goodness, we got to be out of here. And life gets in the way. And it seems like when it's time to move, somebody's getting married or there's a birthday or, kids are in sports. And it's like we don't even have time to pack. So
exactly.
It seems like everything kicks in and all at once right whenever you need for it to not to. Okay, so wallpaper. Let's talk wallpaper.
Yes. So wallpaper, the thing is with wallpaper, there are products that you can use to go over the wallpaper and paint. Some sellers are more motivated and they're willing to remove and take suggestions from me or from the realtor, but some are maybe like, that's a lot of work. I'm already putting money into this area or that area, or they just don't have the time, whatever the case may be. So in that instance, I will say, if you decide not to remove the wallpaper and you have, 5 or 6 with feedback that are all stating the same thing, who love the house but the wallpaper, I said, then that might be, your motivation to then go ahead and remove the wallpaper. So it is something that we suggest, especially if it's, pretty dated. If some wallpaper has come back, believe it or not, in, like in dining rooms for like a focal wall or a bedroom, a focal wall. But, if we're talking about, patterns that are 10, 15, really you haven't, wallpaper seems like about 15 years ago is when people stopped really wallpapering, 15 to 20 years ago. So that could really be dated. And if there's some solutions that make it easy. Even hot water and vinegar and just letting it soak. You can make it easy to remove wallpaper. It is tedious and can be a day's worth of your time, but the end result and what it yields in return, and selling the home faster and getting on to the next step in life or next stage could be worth it.
Absolutely. Really, if you put it into numbers, if someone is going to reduce the price of the house because they look at that as a cosmetic thing that they're going to have to do or hire it done, in their mind, they're looking at it like, okay, well, I've got to do this and I've got to do that and I've got to do this. And I don't want to pay that much for the house because I know I'm going to have to hire a contractor to do it for me. Not everybody is a do-it-yourselfer.
That's right.
So if it's going to save you money in the long run, then just go ahead and do it.
Right. If it's going to save you money by getting the home listed and sold in a matter of days versus maybe it sits on the market for 30, 60, 90 days, and you have to think about, are you paying a mortgage payment and, escrow and whatnot? During that time frame, would it have been just more cost effective to spend, a few $100 up front or take the time yourself and get it taken care of just to update the home, freshen the home up, make it as neutral as possible. So again, that potential buyer can see that space is a living space that they're interested in. The whole idea is 90% of traffic is coming online in today's market. And so moving that potential buyer from online into the home is the goal. Sometimes, people will have a vision and they can see past those things, but really we hear 100% of people have a hard time seeing past other people's things, or, the potential buyer wants that move-in ready home. And that is really what is going to make your house more marketable, is to get it blank canvas for that potential buyer if possible.
I will say, don't go overboard, though. Don't take everything out, which, Anita, I know you have, whenever you're staging a home, you bring things with you. Let's talk about that.
That's right, yes. So things that when I come into a home, and first of all, I make that initial contact, a phone call with the client. The realtor's already somewhat prepared them for my call and some of the suggestions I'm going to have. And we talk about, when I come over, it's usually right at the stage where people are starting to pack and things may, little projects are taking place, and things aren't, going to be perfect for me. A lot of times people are like, well, I'm not ready for you. Well, that's okay. I totally understand. This is the stage I come. So I want people to know there's nothing to do really to prepare for me to come over for that initial visit. This is for me to take a look and give them suggestions while they're kind of in that beginning stage of getting, maybe had been overlooked or they hadn't thought of, or would maybe improve the marketability of the home. So when I go over to a home, I'm looking at, things that people tend to overlook are things that are, clutter, cleanliness, smells, daily living, your personal care items, personal style, colors, and any repairs. And so, of course, I'm sensitive to we all live in our home. So, these are some of the same things I tell people would apply to myself if I were going to move. I have children in the home, so, laundry, and there's always personal care items out. It seems like keeping things, constantly kept up is always a struggle when, especially people in the home work or have children. So I try to, we're all the same. We're all human. We all live the same. Kind of let your guard down a little bit. And we talk about that potential buyer being online first and moving them into the home, so that way they can experience the home live and in person. We want to get them in the door because it's a different view. When we're online or we're looking on our smartphones, it's easy to zoom in on things, and things can be distracting. Looking at somebody's personal collections or collectibles or pictures. So those are the things we're removing. So when I come in the door, I let them know I'm trying to look at how the photographer is going to capture your room. how it's going to look like online, the end result. So that's what I'm visualizing. And I will show them some before and afters so they get it by seeing my before and afters also. Sometimes it's not about decorating necessarily. Decorating and staging are two different animals, really. So those are common mistakes that people overlook, and we do become those. We do become, accustomed to having all of our personal care items on our vanities and our kitchen cabinets. So I give them a checklist to go through, and again, just looking at it through the camera lens. Some things that you mentioned that I do bring embellishments in, or these are things that are easily, things that the seller can buy or the realtor can advise them on. Mirrors are very, very neutral. So there's not patterns or any, personal, taste involved in a mirror. Lanterns are very popular. You can get lanterns just about it. We have boutique stores here in the Liberty area I like to shop at. There's, and there's also chains out there that you can find lanterns. Those are great for just a cute little pop of, little embellishment. Trays, like serving trays, getting a serving tray and making that a centerpiece on a vanity or on a dining room table with some candles. Or a couple candlesticks on the tray, just kind of a layered look makes it pop as well without going overboard, because you're right, you mentioned you don't want a completely bare home. You just want it thinned out. You want it decluttered. You want it clear of those, personal photos and those personal collections and personalized style. You want something cute and whimsy, neutral. Kitchens, I always say, let's put a bowl of lemons or green apples for a pop of color. Adding, even little flowers or like some greenery by the kitchen sink just gives it a little pop of color as well. Apothecary, like the glass apothecary vase, kind of looks like a vase type of thing with a lid. Those are great because you can add seashells, you can leave them as is. I've added lemons to those. I mean, you can add a little pop of color with those as well. So there's easy ways to fresh towels in a basket, putting that like on a bathtub or on a vanity. That just gives it a spa feel. So there's easy ways, inexpensive ways to add some freshness, add some, that embellishment, that little finishing touch, if you will, without having to spend a lot of money. Those are things that I do bring in when I stage a home if I'm not able to use the seller stuff. Some sellers have decor, and I can, send things out, use their decor, mix it with some of the embellishments that I bring in, or some people don't have any of those things, and I'll bring those embellishments in. I do, a lot of times if they don't have bedding or their bedding is dated or, just needs to be freshened up, sometimes I'll recommend bedding. That's an easy, you can get a bed in a bag for pretty inexpensive at some retail stores, but it just freshens up a room. Having pillow shams and a couple layers of pillows and a couple throw pillows on a bed, potential buyers love the spa look or the spa feel. So that's really what you're creating. You're taking out all the, everyday stuff, the things that pile up in your room or on your dresser. You're taking all of that out, and you're just adding, one little embellishment, one or two little embellishments, fresh bedding, and just making that feel more of like a retreat that somebody can go in and enjoy at the end of the day. And it makes for a nice photograph. So again, the whole purpose of this is people are looking at your home online and moving them from an online viewer to in the home to experience the home in person and fall in love with the home, visualizing their things and their family living in there.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for more of Anita's tips about staging and getting a house ready to go on the market here in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us on Real Estate 101. We'll be right back.
When someone has a passion for what they do, it comes through in the product they provide their customers. Just ask LaRocco's Pizza's new owner, Jason Johnson, about their crust. They make it every day and let it rise for a minimum of 24 hours before they use it for their pizza. And his staff doesn't want to do anything they won't be the best at, and you can taste it in their pizza. LaRocco's Pizza, just a half block north of the I-470 and Gage Boulevard exit. Come taste the difference.
This is Stephen Parkin at Invista Credit Union. Purchasing a home is one of the most exciting and important decisions someone can make. Let me tell you why Invista is the best choice for financing your new home purchase. First, quick pre-approval process. Our fast decision-making gives you the power to act quickly and make an offer on your dream home. Second, local servicing. We service your mortgage in-house. You won't get a long-distance runaround, but a committed professional whose only job is to help you. Third, experienced team. We are dedicated to simplifying the process and educating you through the home buying process. Come by Invista. It's okay to dream. In fact, it's encouraged. We are your home buying partner. Give us a call at 785-228-0149.
Thanks for joining us again on Real Estate 101, and I am back with Anita. Anita is a stager in the Kansas City market, and so she technically doesn't come to the Topeka area, but she is so kind. She's going to go through us. Actually, now we're going to go room by room. What are the different things that you can do? So we will post this on Facebook, on social media, and we do have it on my website for the radio show, which is Real Estate 101 Radio. So if you want to check that out, all of the recordings from every show I've ever done are actually on there, so you can check it out. And if you want to be on the show, you can actually go on and fill out a form and ask to be on the show. So let's talk kitchen. What would be your advice for people in the kitchen?
Okay, well, kitchens and bathrooms definitely sell homes. So making the kitchen shine and sparkle is totally the goal. You want to pay attention to fingerprints, countertops, sinks, making sure everything is white glove clean. I do recommend that coffee pots, toasters, any small appliances should be tucked away for the photos. If you have a viewing and have a showing of the home and you have your coffee pot out, that's totally fine. But by removing it for your photos, again, we're focusing on staging, moving that potential buyer from online, getting them in the home. It's a different feel when you're in a home. You've got like a 360 view, but when you're looking at a photo online, it's quite different. And so showing off the counter space is very important. Removing what you can, literally having no appliances on the countertops, and like I mentioned earlier, a bowl of fruit, green apples, lemons, something fresh like that. Having, if you have a cute little teapot and want to have that out, having some type of greenery by the kitchen sink. Those things will give it a pop of color. Or something that's not even practical for a kitchen, and you wanted to have, and they've got so many cute little sayings out and different decor that you can, like a decorative plate or a decorative tray that you can have on the countertop. Something that's decorative but not too personalized, that gives it a pop of color. We'll still show off, the kitchen in a way that is inviting, but the practical stuff, I say remove it. Show off the counter space, because that's so important. Cabinets, there's ways to clean cabinets. If they're dated cabinets, there's ways to freshen them up. Painting, changing out the hardware is very inexpensive, but can give it a completely different look. But kitchens definitely sell homes, so that's usually where I will have some of the biggest suggestions is in a kitchen.
Bathrooms, obviously, you said, are a big deal too.
Yes, again, definitely make sure your vanity tops and personal care items are all cleared away, even in the shower, bathtub, because this is, again, being photographed. It just becomes a distraction in the photos. We want that potential buyer to see past your stuff and see what the home has to offer and visualize themselves in there. So what you can replace personal care items with are things like those fresh, fluffy towels to give it that spa look and feel. Again, you can put those towels in a basket, roll them in a decorative way, and stick them in a basket. That makes a cute, fresh look. Check out your showers and your bathtubs. Make sure if they need to have caulking replaced, that's done. Any little repairs like that. If you have a leaky faucet, anything that needs to be repaired, have that taken care of. But caulking can freshen up a bathroom. Sometimes I go into homes that still have carpet in the bathroom. I do always strongly suggest replacing the carpet with tile. There's even some high-end laminate material that look like tiles that will, if you're on a budget, it'll still improve the look and feel of the bathroom versus having carpet still in the bathroom.
And really, honestly, if you think about it, it's not that expensive of a fix. It's really not even that hard.
No, it's not. And the return on investment is so much more and totally worth it.
Absolutely. I have yet to see somebody that can get past it. I mean, we don't need to go into the details, but obviously it's not that expensive because most bathrooms you can't have a party in. So
that's right.
Just go ahead and do it. Okay, so bedrooms. I know this is a quick tip that we always give people that have kids, but get a basket that has a lid on it, like the wicker tall laundry baskets, and have the kids dump everything in that before they leave for school. Put the lid on it.
That's right.
But tell
Somebody
us more
wants
of
their
your
dirty
tips.
laundry aired, so definitely have it concealed or, in closets if you can, if they fit in there, but hampers with lids are definitely important.
Absolutely. And whenever we're taking pictures, I can't tell you how many beds I've remade. And
yes.
It's just part of what we do. I will move things purposely out of photos and put them back.
That's right.
Just because it makes it too dizzy. Not dizzy,
That's
but
right.
busy.
So if you're a realtor going in right before the photographer or homeowner, things that are kind of important to do, think about the angle that most photographers are going to get. It's going to be probably a shot from the doorway. So kind of stand back in that doorway and look at what's exposed. Sometimes things under the bed show, so you want to make sure that those are tucked under. Sometimes, if there's a bed skirt, which I always highly recommend having a bed skirt around the bed, but sometimes, you can see sheets kind of peeking out, or so just kind of have an eye for detail and make sure that bedding's lined up and that the bed's smooth, and having again those couple of decorative pillows and some fresh linens and some even just spending the money and getting a new comforter or bedspread, and definitely have pillow shams. It just gives again that spa feel, and people are paying attention to that, and you don't have to spend a lot of money at all. And it can keep it neutral. You don't have to worry about color schemes or anything like that. You can keep it neutral. But make sure, again, personal photos and personal care items are all removed off of dressers, off of nightstands. If people have TVs in their rooms, there's been times where I've said, let's pull that on out for the photos. Go ahead and leave it in there for showing, but those can be distracting in a photograph. So just stand back at that doorway view and take a look around and think about, or even take your smartphone and take a shot of the room and look at it, because when you look at it and you're on your phone, that's what they're going to see. So look around and go, okay, yep, I need to go ahead and pull that out for the photograph, or move this over a little bit.
Like if there are things that are too cluttered, we're not having to try and, manipulate the picture to not have it in there. It's really best to do the wide angle.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Curb appeal.
So curb appeal, that's going to be, the first thing that a potential buyer is going to see, especially if they're driving by the home. And first impression can be made here for sure. So they say an opinion can develop actually in 7 to 15 seconds and sets the tone for that potential buyer as they view the rest of the home. So things that you can do for curb appeal is you may want to clean or repaint the front door, just give it a pop and a fresh coat of paint. Check out your exterior if it needs to be touched up, repainted. Check out the trim, any repairs or, again, painting. replace any rotten wood on the exterior. Make sure you sweep away walkways, patios, porches, decks. We will recommend pruning any bushes and plants to make them look healthy. Make sure they're not blocking any windows. Weeds, this time of year, any fallen leaves. Fresh mulch will definitely spruce up the look and give it more curb appeal. And then remove any dead plants, especially, again, this time of year with it being fall. Adding a few fresh flowers. People like to put mums out this time of year because the market, can change in this fourth quarter. If you start getting close to the holidays, and what I would say is maybe go with purple mums instead of like orange and yellow, because they can date a photo. Like if a home is on the market a little bit longer this time of year, you don't want people online looking and thinking, oh, it's December. Why do they have, Halloween or fall items out? So I wouldn't put those in photographs if you have. I don't suggest not decorating for the holidays. You want to enjoy your home and your holidays for sure. I'm just talking about for photos when I mention this, if that makes sense. But, picking out those flowers this time of year, maybe stay away from the oranges and the yellows. Go with the purple mums.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Anita, for coming on the show. And speaking of homes, actually, Anita, real quick, if you want to give your contact information again, she really only works, actually, you tell us where you do work.
So, I've been in the Northland in Kansas City. That's really the market that I've worked in. That's where a lot of agents that reach out to me are from. So the thing is, I can do like consultations over the phone or with technology. It makes it easy for you to shoot pictures over if you have some questions. I can give some advice if somebody's looking for that. And then, maybe make a recommendation for stagers in your area if possible. So I'd be happy to talk to somebody over the phone, or like I said, with FaceTime or Zoom calls. I can do virtual staging, if you will. My phone number is 816-935-2956, and you can reach me by email as well, which is my name, Anita, Anita Filardo, Filardo @gmail.com.
Southwest Topeka has a good neighbor. State Farm agent Jim Garrison, now at 29th and Urish. If your current insurance situation has you going around in circles, get off the roundabout and stop in and meet Jim and his wonderfully efficient staff. Let Jim Garrison give you a quote and make the Garrison comparison. He's confident that with State Farm's competitive rates, the right coverage, and his unmatched service, you'll want to make him your new insurance agent. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and Jim Garrison is there for you, northeast of the roundabout at 29th and Urish.
When someone has a passion for what they do, it comes through in the product they provide their customers. Just ask LaRocca's Pizza's new owner, Jason Johnson, about their crust. They make it every day and let it rise for a minimum of 24 hours before they use it for their pizza. And his staff doesn't want to do anything they won't be the best at, and you can taste it in their pizza. LaRocca's Pizza, just a half block north of the I-470 and Gage Boulevard exit. Come taste the difference.
And real quick, I'm going to give you the rundown of our open houses this weekend. We are going to be at 922 Southeast Croco Road. They have recently redone the main floor. They put in new flooring, painted, put in new doors. So be sure and come and check that out. That is the one that has mother-in-law suite in the back. So be sure and check that out. It's huge. It's currently priced at $194,900. It'll be open Sunday from 2 to 4. 4022 Southwest Lincolnshire Road is a maintenance-free. You can get your lawn taken care of, your snow done, your sprinklers taken care of, exterior. And it is going to be open from 10 to 12 on Saturday. 3517 Southwest Atwood is currently priced at $137,500. It's going to be open on Saturday also from 1 to 2, so be sure and come and check those out. If you're looking to buy or sell, be sure and give us a call at 785-213-5188. You can check us out online at preferredadvisorsteam.com, and you can also find all recordings from the radio shows at realestate101radio.com. All right, thanks, Anita.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Real Estate 101 with the Karey Brown team from Realty Executives Preferred Advisors.